You are on this very planet that Chukwokika Biama created to his glory. We welcome you to another explosive exposition of the very fraudulent contraption, the very diseased abomination that the British created for the enslavement of the children of light. We have come to destroy. We have come to render asunder. We have come to decimate that very tower of darkness, that very zoological republic, that very cesspit of iniquity and of evil. We have come that the blind may see. We have come that the deaf may hear. We have come that even those who through no fault of theirs, but as a result of having subjected themselves to a very disastrous educational system in the zoo, they have become stupid. Here we have come to enlighten and to educate, without any apologies to anybody, without mincing words, without fear before our enemies, determined and resolute, indestructible, and the precipitous collapse of the zoo is inevitable, absolutely inevitable. The devil may try all it can. Those who go before them to peddle falsehood, those who go to work for them, those who are the workers of darkness and of iniquity, we can assure them that we are resolute, we are determined, and there is nothing anybody can do to stop this very invade as many times as you like, kill as many people as you like, propagate falsehood after falsehood as many times as you like, buy up every media space in the zoo, go and connive with people in the diplomatic circles abroad, eyebrow consultancy firm in the world, select some diplomats in the zoo and bribe them. Select those you send to the key countries around the world. None of these things you're doing is capable of stopping us. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you write. It doesn't matter the type of chatter you have behind our backs. All those things you're doing is a complete and utter waste of time, because Biafra must come. There is nothing anybody can do about it. That is why we preach this gospel. That is why we propagate this very message of redemption. That is why Elohim said that Biafra will come. You will not fire a bullet, but Biafra will come. Because Chukwokika has gone before us. And you will hear what will happen to the zoo in weeks and months to come. This is 1 year, 2020. They will never, ever, ever in their lives forget. It does not matter what the enemy does, is irrelevant. Buy over Twitter, buy over Facebook, bribe the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, bribe the US Ambassador to Nigeria, department in America. But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully. And they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere. From everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Ipob, Yasika, and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't. Not in you cannot. Not in 1 trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwukika Abiyama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Owe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not if you know what, the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who we are chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who, from their mother's womb, they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook. They can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything to make sure that you're like them. But this very IPOB, this very hardcore is not going to move. And I will tell you why we can't move.
We have tried to live in Nigeria designed by Great Britain and handed to us. We have found it difficult to live in that Nigeria. We have fought a civil war, killed so many people, and still we have the same problems reoccurring. Perhaps the time has come to revisit the very foundations of Nigeria.
Are defending him. Fulani people are defending him. But you idiots from the south, from the east, you're talking rubbish about your one Nigeria. Whereas a terrorist, a killer, a murderer is in government as a minister. His own people are the people defending him. But you are in the south attacking those who are fighting for your freedom. And you're telling me that your brains are normal. Maybe that's your one Nigeria, whereas a terrorist, a killer, a murderer is in government as a minister. His own people are the people defending him. But you are in the south attacking those who are fighting for your freedom. And you're telling me that your brains are normal. Maybe there's something in Suya, maybe in Kilishi, and in that cattle that they give to us to eat. There must be something fundamentally wrong with us as a people. Fundamentally wrong with us as a people. And we must confront it, and confront it we shall. These people lecturing us about no secession, you're destroying the country. You people, you Fulani idiots, you Fulani bigots, you Fulani impostors, you Fulani vagabonds are the same people that welcomed the rehabilitation of terrorists. You granted bandits, killers, murderers, and kidnappers amnesty. I want Obia not to listen. I want Tripas to listen. I want Tripas, this idiot, Sarikin Fulani of Imo State, Hope to listen very, very carefully. You people are fools because you cannot listen very well. The same people you're fighting for, killing your own people because of them, they are the ones rehabilitating, so they claim, putting the army that we have today. Somebody might come and say, you have given the order that the police and the army should be attacked. All those idiots. Some of you fools who cannot reason, we are not attacking any police. We are attacking the terrorists that they brought into the police and into the army. They are the ones killing our people. We must defend ourselves. You fools cannot reason very well. We are not fighting any standing or legally, properly constituted army or police. These are the same Fulani terrorists, murderers and killers. The same people that went in, in Damaturu or wherever it is, killing and slaughtering Christians in droves. You fools that cannot reason. The same Boko Haram that has been killing, the same Fulani terrorists have been killing people. They are the ones now in the army. Did you not see them? Recruit them into the army? You're telling me we shouldn't fight them? These are terrorists in police uniform and army uniform. You're saying we should not fight them? Is that what you're saying? Are you that foolish? Are you that stupid? This same Fulani pontificating about peace and unity and anti-secession whatever garbage that they are pouring out of their useless, stinking janjaweed mouths. These same idiots, these same fools are the ones that rehabilitated Boko Haram. So they claim. These fools are the ones that granted amnesty to bandits. Now, let me surprise all of you. Surprise, surprise. Those that are giving amnesty to are Fulani terrorists, Fulani bandits, Fulani kidnappers, Fulani headsmen who are murderers and land-grabbing urchins. These are the people that are giving amnesty to. You people should reason. You zoo animals called Nigerians, reason for once. The hypocrisy in Fulani, their hypocrisy is astonishing. Hypocrites. Fulani, who is responsible for the state of almost anarchy in the zoo, who is responsible for the hopelessness of the security framework of the zoo. Fulani, who is responsible for insecurity? Fulani, who are the bandits? Fulani, who are the terrorists in the zoo? Fulani, which people are going about slaughtering and taking over other people's farmlands? It is you. You people are the problem. Unfortunately, some idiots from the south cannot see it. You wanted to show us that you know how to write grammar, writing rubbish about one Nigeria. You are defending something that is indefensible. Indefensible. Indefensible, you fools. Some smelly rats, some smelly garbage, gutter, alamajiri, gutter. The lowest of the low. If it's one of those of their fools talking, I will even understand. From the gutter. Not contributed one single thing to the advancement of the zoo. Not one single contribution has the Fulani ever made. Tell me one national contribution that the Fulani has ever made to the advancement of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Just name one thing, absolutely nothing. They want power. Power and control of oil and gas. That's all they need. That's all they want. So they can run your lives for you and control your destiny. And you're not ashamed of yourself to claim that you're educated. Nigeria is an evil entity. Very, very satanic. You want to change the narrative. It's IPOB, they're the aggressors. I saw some women, was it yesterday? Give them their Biafra. We don't want to die. Look at murderers calling other people murderers. Can you believe such nonsense? The Fulani leaders, you cannot win. You cannot defeat IPOB. You people were the ones that established many terror organizations in Nigeria in a bid to overwhelm the country and take over the territories for your Fulani people. IPOB became a stumbling block to that very janjaweed expansionist tendency. True or false? Am I lying? You were ruling Nigeria before, doing everything you like, controlling NMPC, controlling the seaport, customs, everywhere you ever. Now, finally, because you felt that you subdued everybody else. Now you can now march on with your foot soldiers into the east. Because you've taken over Yoruba land, of course, I know that very well. You came and we said, no, you can't come into this land to take it. Come and do your business and go. You said no. Now, because we defeated Mietiala, you now brought in police and army with official uniform, official badge to come and kill people. And I also want to remind Twitter, because they're listening. Twitter, please. Do you know that in the Nigerian army and police, there are terrorists there? Are you aware that Nigeria actively recruited terrorists, killers and murderers and rapists, and gave them army and police uniforms? Are you aware of that? How can anybody, Yoruba journalists, how can you people in your infantile stupidity refer to Nigeria as having an army or Nigeria police? Or where are those terrorists that they conscripted into the Nigerian army and Nigerian police? Where are they? People without shame, where are they? I'm asking you. Fulani, you want to change the narrative? Of course not. They want to put the blame of insecurity in Nigeria on IPOB. Can you believe that? Can you believe these people? Can you believe them? Can you believe these people? And luckily, as God will have it, they are slaughtering themselves in the north. But IPOB securing the east are the ones to be blamed for the insecurity in the east. There is a clip I want everybody to play, please. Hope most of them opened his mouth and said, I invited the army to come into Olo. There was nothing happening. Fulani, the Hope most of them gave Fulani land in Olo to do Ruga, Fulani settlement. And we said no. We drove the Fulani murderers and terrorists away. Hope most of them are now invited his friends, his masters from the north, to bring in their army and heavy machinery into Olu to kill us. That was how all these things started. All of you, you have forgotten. Black people in this UG, black, you have all forgotten the genesis. The same way that all of you that are blaming Boko Haram is a terrorist group, Boko Haram, what they're doing. But when Nigerian police were busy killing their leader and killing everybody else, all of you were just there drinking Fradununu or doing betting on Chelsea versus Man U or Liverpool versus Man City. Nigeria army and police will go out and commit atrocity upon atrocity. All of you will be there, you keep quiet. Any day, those people out of anger rise up and retaliate. All of you baboons and monkeys will start writing rubbish. Do you know why? Because you have no conscience, you have no soul, you're a black person, you are the embodiment of evil. Is the truth. I don't care who bans whoever or whatever, I don't give a toss. I must preach the truth. Black people are wicked. By nature, very wicked people. That is why you forget the atrocities that your police and your army always commit. You forget. In a twinkle of an eye, you forget. Our army, our police. Now listen to me very carefully, please. You are blaming ESN, whereas it is the same Fulani terrorists masquerading as headsmen that are responsible for orchestrating all the insecurity in and around Nigeria. Fulani, you have Boko Haram. Fulani, talking about insecurity in the east. Hey. Whereas 91 people were slaughtered yesterday. Yesterday, they were killed yesterday. You have the guts. You people have no shame. You have the guts to stand up and be talking about insecurity in the east. And you're a senator from Kebbi State or Kebbi, whatever they call it. And 91 of your constituents were slaughtered. You didn't see it. You are talking about East. Fulani, who formed Boko Haram. Fulani, who formed ISIS in West Africa province, ISWAP. Fulani, who formed Miyetti Allah. Fulani, who formed Ansar. Fulani, who formed these headsmen and bandits you claim are foreign. Fulani, who brought out murderers and killers and terrorists from prison and gave them military and police uniforms. It is you people. You have now spread them around the country, causing mayhem, abducting people from schools. These are the same place. Hi, these people there. Ha, Fulani, you think everybody's as stupid as you are? You go, you kidnap students from their schools in the north, you get ransom, you buy more arms, you embolden yourselves. You have the guts to conduct a live press conference talking about insecurity in the East. Don't people have shame? Anyway, you don't. Who are the bandits, or should I say terrorists, taking hostages of school children and demanding ransom? Are they not Miyetti Allah? Miyetti, the chief negotiator. Who are the people destroying farms, raping and killing their victims daily around Nigeria? Fulani. Fulani. You know what? How they manage to convince some of you is what I find astonishing, despite the overwhelming evidence. How they
Land of the
us pray. For God in heaven, Almighty Creator, the ancients of the ancients, the maker of the heavens and the earth, you created everything that the mind of a living soul can imagine, but none created thee. That is why we say you are immortal, you are invisible, you are omnipotent. This very God that every generation who has ever had the grace of knowing thee have always testified to your goodness. That is the same God that we kneel and bow before. This God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help even in this time of Janjaweed trouble, even in this time of Fulani rage and terrorism. Therefore we shall fear no evil. This Ipob shall fear no evil. Even if the whole world is against us, even if Britain intensifies their effort to cross this very light of hope in sub-Saharan Africa, even though they shake the mountains, even though the seas may rise, even though they may give all the weapons and ammunition to the Zoological Republic, no matter what they do, no matter how they foment their rage, it doesn't matter to us. For God, Chukwokika Biama, is in the land of Biafra. We shall never ever be moved. This God of the ancients will help us now and forevermore. For Biafra shall come, and this Lord of hosts is with us. Chukwokika Biama, the same God of Jacob, this same God of Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, this God that never abandons his people, this same God is our refuge, and we proclaim it unashamedly that this God that we kneel and bow before, we shall worship thee, for Biafra is your promise, your word is yea and amen. Instead of your word not to come to pass, heaven and earth will cease to exist. Upon this very hope we anchor all our belief that Biafra shall come in our time, and we pray that it comes this very year, that your glory may be made manifest in the lives of men, that we may kneel and bow before thee. Nyahan soro tutona nsoporo ne jamani bisiala chineke na keprumi yenida ko tutoni ne wedregeze denso ubama wombani ne bigebi. He said Mama drege chineke. He said, good evening and welcome, Biafrans, lovers of freedom all over the world. We welcome you to this program here on this platform, Ipob, Western Cape Media TV. We welcome you in the name of Chukwukikabe Mapremi Henine. As we welcome you, we indulge that you welcome others, that you welcome your friends, that you welcome your family, that you welcome your neighbor, that you welcome all of us of freedom who lives within your locality. We thank you for joining this evening. We thank you for sharing. We thank you for liking. We also thank you for commenting. Welcome you all, fellow Biafrans. We will never, ever, ever take your support for granted. You that are always joining us, you that always joining us, you that always sharing our programs, you that always make it a duty to like and to create awareness concerning this page. We thank you and we say may Chukwu Okikabama Premier bless you and provide for you. This is IPOB Western Cape Media TV. If this is your first time seeing us, this is IPOB Western Cape Media TV. Here we speak nothing but the truth. We are without fear or favor. We are not here to represent any individual. We are here to represent and to defend our fatherland, Biafra. Because for us, it is Biafra today, tomorrow, and forever. If you are offended by our resolve, we have no apologies for that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB worldwide. And his position is incontestable. IPOB is here to restore Biafra. We are not going to be swayed until Biafra is restored. Welcome to IPOB Western Cape Media TV, saying it the way it is. We are fearless. We cannot do without speaking the truth. Truth is our hallmark. We are known for the truth we speak. We cannot do nothing without speaking the truth, irrespective of how you feel, what you feel. It is our duty to always speak the truth. Hence, we are not here for saga. We are not here for propaganda. We are not here for drama. We are not here for name calling for the sake of it. We are here to contribute our quota to the agitation that Chukwu Okikabama has called us all. We are here and we meant business. We are here to preach Biafra. We are here to create awareness. We are here to do that which is needful within our own strength. So we ask that you support us by always sharing our program and liking our program. Awareness is the key. We do not attract traffic. This reason is because we don't engage in any kind of saga or propaganda. If you find yourself watching this program, indeed, you are a true Biafran, a chosen generation among those who are chosen to restore the kingdom of God here on earth, which is Biafra. You are not here by accident. It is a divine call that you may be here today. To hear the truth, to know the truth, to stand on the right footings. If you are confused on this platform, your doubts, your confusion will be cleared completely, and you will know the right directions, the right way to follow. If you are still confusion about IPOB, the structures, the movement, how it was structured by our leader, this is the platform where you will know the truth. We ask you to hang around. Always follow these channels, this page, this platform. It is worthy of it. You will be educated on things that is necessary. We are here to use our common sense, even when they say that common sense is not common. I want you to know that this evening we are live on all our social media platforms. We are live on our Facebook page. which is IPOB Western Cape without Media TV. Then we are live on our YouTube page, which is IPOB Western Cape Media TV. We are not able to come live on our X, which is formerly Twitter. We are not able to come live. There is something that we need to clear, and before we could be able to stream live on our X handle. But for today, we are not live there. So if you look for us on Twitter, you may not find us. You can only find us here on YouTube and on Facebook. Make do with one of those. That is how it is. We must continue. We will not relent. The harvest is many, but the laborers are very few. In IPOB today, for you to see a channel, a medium, a platform like this is difficult. It's not easy in IPOB today. All you see are those who are not serious. The likes of Radio Biafra, where they only gossip, where they only, endanger the lives of Biafrans, both home and abroad, where they display all manner of hatred and all manner of lies. That is what is going on the so-called Radio Biafra today. You cannot get the two things of it, in the sense of it. You cannot hear anything concerning our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that you can use to do something. You cannot hear the way forward, how to advance from this place where we are to the next level. It's not possible. So there is no other platform. The only platform devoted completely for the work that we have, the work for the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra, is IPOB Western Cape Media TV. And you might ask, why is it not attracting traffic? Why are people not clustering around? Why are people not following? Because we are speaking the truth. Truth is not popular. If you don't know that, I am sorry. But one thing about truth is it will surely prevail. It will surely prevail. Keep hammering on the truth. Keep saying it. Keep speaking the truth. No matter the discouragement, don't let it discourage you. Stand on your feet, strong. At the end of the day, everything will reset. And everything will return to status quo. Truth will prevail. Bury the truth, cover the truth. You can never completely eliminate the truth. It is impossible for you to do that. That is what this platform is all about. We may not be popular, but our message resonates. We may not be popular. Our message is powerful. Those who have heard, those who followed us, those who know about us, knows what we are capable of, knows the quality of messages, of programs coming from this channel. That is why we must continue. We didn't come here for people to see us, not to hear or to know us, or to, praise us. That is not why we're here. We are here that people of Biafra may know the truth in the sense of it. That is the reason we are here. It does not matter how they try to suppress us or how they try to do anything against us. The truth remains that we must continue, irrespective of the pressure, irrespective of the mountain of discouragement that may be facing us. So, relax as we are getting through the official kickoff of this program this evening. But before then, I bring greetings to you from my coordinator, Mazino Sentalia. Mazino Sentalia is the coordinator representing IPOB Western Cape Zone. Mazino Sentalia is working round the clock, assiduously providing and sacrificing everything sacrificable for this zone, for this cause, for Biafra at large. Mazino Sentalia is a hardcore believer and a leader worthy of emulation. And we must always understand that perfectly. And also, I want you to understand that the enemies are working because they are also trying to downgrade what we are doing. They are trying to discourage what we are doing. They're trying to plant confusion in our midst. But must we agree? No, we must not agree. We must not. That is why we are here to expose them. They created a parallel IPOB. They made sure that IPOB, Western Cape, have a parallel IPOB Western Cape. Who are the people I'm referring to? I'm referring to the so-called DOS. They created someone, gave him the name or the office of IPOB Western Cape representative. While we already have IPOB Western Cape representative in the person of Mazino Sentalia, they created their own, who also parade himself trying to deceive as many people as he may deceive. But one thing about it is that the only people that he was able to deceive are those that he's able to recruit. All the family, those who have been on this struggle for the past 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 7 years, he could not tamper with them. So he goes about lying to other people, genuine and innocent Biafrans, bringing them to his side to work for his masters, the so-called DOS who sent him. So if you come in contact of such individuals, please distance yourself from them. The only legitimate IPOB Western Cape coordinator is Mazino Sentalia. Mazino Sentalia was appointed by Mazino Mdekanu himself, the only one who has the power, the authority to appoint and to dismiss is Mazino Mdekanu. Every individual you see today, starting from DOS down to the unity coordinator, every one of us were appointed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the truth. There is no other truth. I bring greetings to you from the IPOB Western Cape Executive. I also bring greetings to you from the family members of IPOB Western Cape. And I welcome you to this program this evening. I am Mazone Buchi, and I am your host by the special grace of Chukwuka Biama. I am the Parklands Unit Coordinator. The job I love doing. I believe in Biafra. I believe that without Biafra, we are lost. And if this generation of us failed to restore Biafra, then we failed both Chukwuka Biama. We failed both the spirit of Biafra and everything that has to do with Biafra. We have the coast is clear for us to restore Biafra. All we need to do is to understand what we do. Discipline is the key. If only we can follow the IPOB code of conduct and it dictates, as put together by Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, no other person. If we could be disciplined enough to master the act of Igwebike, United we shall stand, divided we shall fall. All those men who try to bring distraction, to create confusion, to create division in our midst, we must come to a point where we could be able to point them out, jettison them, and put them to their place. We need Biafra. That is what I believe. Don't fall for any other thing. Stand on your ground that Biafra should be restored through referendum according to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Ipob. Not through violence, but through the law, the rightful way, democratic way of doing it. That is exactly where we stand. So we need everybody to come together. I said to you this evening, fellow Biafrans, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Some of you depend where you are watching from this evening. Before I continue, I want to welcome Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Ohamadike, the man of the moment, the prisoner of conscience, the political prisoner, a man who refused to be broken, a man who stood his ground, a man who stand and ready to die for what he believes, a man that has brought each and every one of us out, a man of the people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We welcome him to this program this evening. Mazi, no, Mazi.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Kani kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Ohamadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Ika kugondilo yo, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Ohamadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Odogwa nebula buke, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Ika bugondilo yi, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Endilo yi na chozudo, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Manoge zugo, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Umu Biafra Ghana, Nnamdi Kanu, Ani Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike. Ikolobia bi n'obodo a mmadụ anọ si ya egwu ndị Ikolobia o Biafra bananyi obele nwa nwonye fali beku Chukwu zitere anyị ya Chukwu okike abịa ma zitelie ka ọ bịa tọpụ ụmụ Biafra na-abụ ka ọ tọpụ anyị na-abụ Naịjirịa Chukwu zitere anyị ya ma ndị ilova jụziri ajụ mana anyị nwekwa mmeri babụlụ obele nwa na 2015 ụbọchị enyanụ anyị wee bebe ife dị n'ime ya anyị wee jebe ụlọ ikpe chọbazie ndị kpọrọ anyị na mkpọrọ ndị kpọchiri anyị ka anyị na-achọ anyị fụrụ ofe one n'ụwa gị malụ afa na-agbazi ọsọ na-achụzi fa mana fa marọ na anyị nwe mmeli n'ife ọbụla anyị tinyere aka n'ụwa na-agala anyị ya ka anyị ji bụrụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa ma Nnamdi Kanu kedụzi ife mesilu mee odogwu na-egbula abụga abatago obodobo nwa nwonye afara ife agbala nze na akpọghị n'ikalata ife mena ihe ole n'ụwa ka ibili ị ga-adị ndụ ole n'ụwa fụ Biafra His Majesty onye olu mbanamụ na-ekwu akụọ m ọfọ na nene ị ga-afụ ife ọma ebe isi na anyị ga-enwele onwe anyị wee bulie n'isi ife ọma ga-abụ nke yi ngwanụ kenenu Kanu Nnamdi Kanu Nnamdi Kanu Ọhamadike Biafra Nnamdi Kanu Nnamdi Kanu Ọhamadike agbala nze na-ekwupụlụ iri Nnamdi Kanu Nnamdi Kanu Ọhamadike eze nkoto nkonyelu mkpuchi Nnamdi Kanu Nnamdi Kanu Ọhamadike kịtịkpa gbala ni ọghọlụ mbuze Nnamdi Kanu nwa Kanu Nnamdi Kanu odogwu Ọhamadike.
Yes. Welcome back, fellow Biafrans. You're welcome back, fellow Biafrans. Let us go straight to the business of the day. We're going straight to the business of the day. The topic we're going to be looking into this evening is it says saboteurs, sellouts, agents of confusion in Ipob. Yeah, but before we go straight to that topic, let us look to something that is very, very, very paramount, very, very important. You know, I don't know. I always tell our people about these people we are dealing with. I mean, this day in the zoo, Nigeria, we have Yoruba president, and also we have Yoruba attorney general. We have Yoruba judge, who is the one that is trying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. From the onset, immediately that this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was transferred to him, I started raising alarm. The alarms I was raising is based on experience. The hatred in the heart of Yoruba people against us, the Biafrans and Ndi Igbo in particular, is not something you must overlook, not something to play with, unless if you don't love yourself, if you are not a serious human being. During the war, before the war, in fact, according to the coup plotters of 1966, I mean 1966, yes. The main purpose of that coup was to free Obafemi Awolowo and make him the president of Nigeria, a Yoruba man. This politics of tribal politics, bigotry, everything you see happening in Izu today was as a result of what Awolowo did, the manner of politics he played. In fact, Awolowo played tribal politics. If you remember, the history says that Zik won election in the Western region, and he was denied that victory because the Yariba, in the person of Awolowo, could not understand why would such thing happen. So it has always been Yariba people. So Awolowo, after everything, he went and supported the Nigerian government of the time to commit that infamous, should I say, that genocide against the same people that worked for his success. He went on to blockade Biafrans, both land, sea, and air. As if that was not enough, when the Biafrans surrendered, he made sure that he took everything that our people, our fathers, had and gave them 20 pounds. So it has always been the Yaribas. You see, the Fulanis are visible, but the Yariba people hide under the cloak of Fulanis to perpetrate hatred, to perpetrate tribal bigotry against the Biafran people, against Ndi Igbo. The problems of Ndi Igbo in Nigeria, I will keep saying it, are not actually the Fulanese, nor the Hausas. These people are like machineries. They're like mercenaries. They were placed in front. But the oil, the fuel that is running all this came from the Yariba tribe. Treacherous, corny Yariba tribe. If you have not gotten to this level, then I don't know what you are doing. So when this trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kicked in, and I saw a Yariba judge at the hem of it, I got worried. I got so worried. And everything started unfolding. I keep telling our people, please, eyes on the ball. Eyes on the ball. Do not be carried away. These people are corny. They are unreliable. These Yariba people cannot be trusted. They believe that everything is based on corny way.
They don't believe that things should be done straight. They have both inferiority complex. They don't believe that they could compete in actual sense of competition. So they relied on unhealthy competition. As our people are trying to embrace them, they keep showing our people the exit door. They come to you in the day to preach one Nigeria, but at night they practice nothing but divisive Nigeria, one Yoruba nation. The rest should go to hell. That is not why I'm here. There was a press release coming from IPOB. It says IPOB press release. Today, being Monday, 28, 2025. There was a press release released today from the IPOB desk. And I want us to go through this, through the press release and see for ourselves what it's all about. But something is cooking, something is on the offing, something is happening. But let us go. Now, IPOB press release, Monday 25, 2025. I mean, Monday 28, 2025. It says, why Justice Omotosho cannot rely on the Kenyan High Court judgment to halt the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the topic of this press release. Why Justice James Omotosho cannot rely on the Kenyan court judgment to halt the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, notes with grave concern the growing calls by well-meaning citizens urging the Federal High Court, Abuja, presided over by Honorable James Omotosho, to rely on the recent judgment of the High Court of Kenya, which declared the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as illegal, unconstitutional, and in violation of international law to terminate his ongoing trial in Nigeria. While we acknowledge and commend the Kenyan judiciary for upholding the rule of law and condemning the illegal actions that led to our leaders' abduction and torture, we find it necessary to clarify a fundamental constitutional limitation under Nigeria's legal system. Justice Omotosho is legally barred from setting aside or disregarding the ruling of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, regardless of the flaws or oversight in that decision, bound by law, not sentiment. Nigeria operates a rigid judicial hierarchy rooted in the doctrine of state decisis. Section 287, bracket 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended makes it unequivocally clear that the decisions of the Supreme Court shall be enforced in any part of the Federation by all authorities and persons, and by courts with subordinate jurisdiction to that of the Supreme Court. It follows, therefore, that Justice Omotosho is duty bound to comply with the Supreme Court's ruling in Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, December 2023, which controversially remitted the matter for trial, notwithstanding the court's own admission that Mazi Kanu was subjected to what the apex court called a criminal abduction and unlawful rendition. No trial court, regardless of circumstance, is permitted to override, ignore, or set aside a Supreme Court judgment as settled in Rozek versus ACB Limited, 1993, 8 NWLR, bracket PT 312, 382. Lower courts must obey Supreme Court's pronouncements, no matter how manifestly bad or perverse that may appear. His Lordship, Justice James Omotosho, may take judicial notice of errors, and there were significant errors in the lead judgment of that Supreme Court judgment, but it cannot act upon them unless and until the apex court overrules itself, a case of justice left unremedied. We note that the Supreme Court judgment failed to address a willfully ignored critical statutory and judicial safeguards, such as Section 15 of the Extradition Act, which codifies the doctrine of specialty, prohibiting the trial of a person for offenses other than those for which extradition was granted. Gabriel Ezes versus the state, 2004, 8 NWNR, bracket PT 87543, which affirms that consent of the surrendering state, in this case, Kenya, is a prerequisite for prosecuting new charges. The explicit provisions of the African Charter prohibiting extraordinary rendition, especially as occurred in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, violating Articles 5, 6, and 7 of the African Charter, on human rights and people's rights. Nigeria, being a signatory and having domesticated the charter through the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, bracket Ratification and Enforcement Act, Cap 89 LFN 2024, is legally bound to uphold these protections and prohibited from engaging in or benefiting from extraordinary rendition. The extraordinary rendition as occurred in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu clearly violates multiple provisions of the ICCPR, including Article 7, prohibition of torture, inhuman treatment, Article 9, provision of arbitrary arrest and detention, Article 13, ban on illegal expulsion, Article 14, right to a fair trial. Dear friends, what I'm reading is today's press release by IPOB. So that is what we are reading. They are taking a deep into the current, or rather, the judgment. You know, some people have come out to say, "Oh, Kenya has found Nigeria and Kenya guilty, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released based on that." So, and it's making round. I don't know the implication of it in the ongoing trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but the IPOB spokesperson, in the person of Emma Powerful, needed to release this press release. So that is what I'm doing. So I'm reading and quoting the law according to the press release. So let us continue. Since Nigeria has ratified the ICCPR bracket 29th October 1993 and is bound under Article 2 bracket 1 to respect and ensure the rights enshrined therein, its complicity or benefit from extraordinary rendition put it in serious breach of international law. Why the Supreme Court ignored these foundational principles is a mystery to many. This was what gave rise to the strong legal arguments that the judgment was delivered per inquiry. Nonetheless, only the Supreme Court itself may declare one of its decisions per inquiry or depart from it, as held in Adisa versus Oyiwola 2010 NWIR PT 674-116. The Kenya High Court judgment is morally binding, not legally enforceable. Although the Kenya High Court has rightly exposed the illegality of the abduction, its decision has no automatic legal effect within the Nigerian judicial system unless domesticated under Section 12 of the Nigerian Constitution or adopted through a treaty process, which is not the case here. Conclusion. Why IPOB remains unwavering in our rejection of the manifest injustice in the Supreme Court's judgment. We reiterate that the trial court is not the proper forum to challenge it. Justice Omotosho cannot, under Nigerian law, decline to proceed with trial or apply the findings of the Kenyan High Court in any binding legal sense. The appropriate redress lies through further appellate litigation, both domestically and internationally. We caution the Nigerian judiciary and the executive against using the procedural posture of the case as a smoke screen to legitimize an unlawful process that contravenes not only Nigerian municipal laws, but also binding international legal obligations. The ongoing trial, grounded in morally tainted and legally questionable rendition, is a blight on the conscience of any nation that claims to uphold justice. We call on the international community, the African Union, and all lovers of justice to take note. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's continued trial is a trial of the rule of law itself. Signed, Barrister Onyedikachi Ifedi, from and on behalf of the Directorate of Legal Affairs, Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Okay, that is it. That is the conclusion. It was not coming from the desk of the IPOB spokesperson, which is Emma Powerful. This press release came from the Directorate of Legal Affairs of IPOB. So you heard it, everything outlined according to the law. So some people are of the opinion that because of the victory coming from Kenya, that the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be discontinued with a matter of urgency. But here, they are trying to say, no, that is not it. That the jurisdiction does not lie for Nigeria to obey. But the truth is that the Supreme Court shouldn't have brought us to this point. Remember vividly that Appeal Court in 2023 freed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu freed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and ruled against the evil committed against him. They asked that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should not be brought to trial for this particular case under no circumstances. But you know where we found ourselves. Judicial abracadabra was, concocted by the then federal government led by late Muhammadu Buhari. And they appealed the case on Supreme Court, which, without putting everything into consideration, the Supreme Court of Nigeria ruled that this case the case of Mazi Kanu must continue to trial despite the criminal way he was brought back to Nigeria, despite the extraordinary rendition, the international crime committed by the then government of Nigeria. They put none of them to consideration, but they ruled that the crime was committed, and what should have been the price for this crime. To those judges seated, there was no price to pay for committing the crime by the Nigerian government. For them, what is paramount to them is that Mazi Kanu must go through trial. And that is where we are today. So it's unfortunate. It is injustice for Mazi Kanu, for Supreme Court to have insisted that Mazi Kanu should go through this illegal trial. They did not put into consideration the way and manner he was brought back to Nigeria. It's unfortunate. Today, we are here. They have not found anything against him, but they refuse to let him go. It's a pity. So that is what is happening. Already you know that come 10th of October 2025, Mazi Kanu will appear in court again once more to hear his no case is it no case appeal or whatever? But whatever it is, you understand what I'm saying perfectly. So we await, we cannot even wait. We want to hear, but I want you again. Don't put your faith on a Yariba judge. He may not ask Mazi Kanu to go on October 10th, 2025. He may insist, as a Yariba person that he is, that this case must get to its conclusive end. It's not that he doesn't know that Nigeria does not have case against Mazi. He knows. He had every evidence. He knew there was nothing against this man. But will he let him go? No. How could he? How could he? He won't let him go. But let us continue to wait. Let us put him to a place where he has to prove himself. That is where he is today. His name is Justice. Let us see how he could dish out this justice. Let us see if he's going to make this pronouncement. But I doubt. Not because I don't want Mazi Kanu to be free. I want him to be freed like yesterday. But I don't want to put my hope up, putting in contest the situation, surrendering everything we are doing. Look at the president of Nigeria today, Tinubu. What stopped Tinubu from letting Mazi Kanu go? Some people have come out to argue, oh, Tinubu was not the one who kidnapped Mazi Kanu. So why is he fighting a battle that does not belong to him? Tinubu, why are you fighting a battle that does not belong to you? You did not bring Mazi Kanu to where he is. Yes, we agree. We agreed perfectly. But why are you keeping him? Why you insist that Mazi Kanu must go through trial, knowing fully well the details surrendering his abduction and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria? You know it. You freed Sunday Igboho, your brother. You freed Miyetti Allah Fulani man. You free this Showore. Why you now insist that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must go through this trial to its conclusive end? Why? Because he's Igbo man. Exactly. Exactly. Because he's a Biafran, he is Igbo. Anything Igbo must be destroyed. That is why today in Nigeria we have Yoruba anywhere they are. We have Hausa, we have Fulani. But when it comes down to Igbo land and Igbo people, we have mainstream Igbo. And we have core Igbos. It's a pity. We know all these games. We know. But we as Igbo, with the spirit of we have, spirit never say die spirit. We continue to fight this battle until the end. We do not give up. Go and ask the British. If we could withstand the British, then Nigeria, Europe, the Yoruba people cannot stop us. They can delay us. Yes, of course. Can they stop us? No. Thank you. Now let us go to second. There is something very, very fundamental. Listen, I told you this. The topic of this program today says saboteurs, sellouts, agents of confusion. Who is your leader? Who is your leader is a question that is being thrown to Biafrans, thrown to IPOB. If you see yourself today as IPOB, who is your leader? This is a question that every IPOB should be asking himself or herself. Who is your leader? Are those saboteurs, sellouts, agents of confusion, are they your leaders? Or is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu your leader? It has gotten to the point we ask this most important question. Because I have watched in dismay, I watched in fear how they are trying to change the narrative. Remember, it takes only one captain to lead a ship. Two captains cannot be in the same ship and lead. One must step down for the other. At this point, is it Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to step down for your so-called DOS to lead this struggle? Or should Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or should your so-called criminals, DOS, get lost for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to continue the job he was called to do? This question is for you. And that is reason I brought this question before us this evening. Something I want when I go to social media, what I see is heartbreaking. These men without honor, without dignity, without integrity, the so-called DOS, the sellouts, the saboteurs, the agents of confusion, are trying everything possible to make sure that they raise an army that will fight against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are making sure that they change the status quo. Remember, Biafrans, in 2015, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, when these men started to do things that is against the struggle, against the way things should be in IPOB, so many people are of the opinion that, oh, don't blame them. There was no templates. There was no code of conduct. Nothing to guide them. They are doing according to their own conscience. Okay, we agree. those sections of 2015, we agreed. That is why I am willing to forgive each and every one of them. I am willing to forgive them. In fact, I've forgiven them. But today, immediately Mazen Kanu came out of prison, IPOB code of conduct emerged. Now we have a template. Whether Mazen Kanu is there or not, we can steer this ship without struggle. We can do things. The same dreams, the same templates of Mazen Kanu could still be followed to the letter because of the IPOB code of conduct. What are we seeing today? That the worst crime someone could commit against you, looking at me, is when he's telling he's having a cloth that is white, a cloth that is white. He has it in his hand, and now he asks you, "What is the color of this cloth?" You looked at the cloth, all you could see is white, and you said to him, "I can see but a white cloth." He said to you, "No. Think again. Look at it very, very closely. What color of clothes do I have?" And you see that this is white. All I can see is white. He keep trying to persuade, trying to play into your intelligence. He's trying to walk in your mind, to hypnotize you, to confuse you, so that you could start looking at that white as not white anymore. That is exactly a crime, because he takes you for a fool. He looks at you and thinks you don't have what it takes to be a human being. That is why he is trying to tell you that white is not white anymore. And if you can look closely, you will see something that is not white. We have IPOB code of conduct, and everything there was outlined, how things runs from the apex leadership, which is the office of the supreme leader, down to the deputy, down to the DOS, down and down it goes. Everything written. You know one thing about us. After white people came, they look at us, they say, if you want to hide anything from these people, as a black people, put it in a book. Then they will end up for the rest of their lives not finding it. Just put it inside a book. A black man will not find it. Today, all these things are coming to be true. When I see in ignorance IPOB, you know what they say? They say this is not industrial age we are anymore. This is information age. At the tip of your fingers, you could be able to know what is happening inside the White House of America now. You could be able to tell where Trump is today and where he's going to be tomorrow. That is the information age. You don't need stress to know what is going to the weather of tomorrow in your locality. You don't need it. All you need to go to the sites or to the Google, ask what will be the tomorrow's weather in your city, and you will see it not only that day, but about for 1 week. That means you can plan, you could now plan your way. We are living in the future already because of the information we have. But it is quite unfortunate that people do not make use of this benefit. They depend on what someone tells them. That is why in Nigeria today, the narrative against Ndibo is, oh, Ndibo will take your land. Oh, Ndibo will overcome you. Oh, Ndibo will do this, Ndibo will do that. And some gullibles refuses to go and make a research to know if in the history of Ndibo, they have conquered a territory that does not belong to them. They won't do that. They would rather believe in what that tribal bigot is telling them. They would rather believe in what Reno Omokri is talking. They will be rather believe in it than to go and research and become wise, to know the actual truth, to know the spirit that is talking, even the spirit of truth or spirit of lies. Why would you allow someone to interpret for you? If you are a Christian, you want to know what the Bible, what your Bible is saying, or what your God is saying according to your belief. All you need to do is pick up the Bible, read. You are IPOB. Why would you let someone tell you what is an IPOB code of conduct? Why would you wait for Maazio Ebuchi to read and interpret for you when you actually can read and interpret even better than Maazio Ebuchi? Why can't you make use of your senses and know? There is power in knowing. That is why the same Christian Bible says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge, not for the lack of money, not for the lack of water, not for the lack of good life, but for the lack of knowledge. That is why you perish. That is why you will remain in that spot where you are, because you lack knowledge. Simple. If you are an IPOB member today and you believe every trash that comes out from these saboteurs, sellouts, agents of confusions, and from these defunct DOS apologists, I am sorry for you. The damages you are doing to a man you proclaim to love is so big, is so huge. You cannot repair it, you cannot equate it. Go to the internet, type IPOB code of conduct, as I'll be doing tonight here in this program. And the IPOB code of conduct will be there staring back at you. Read it. So no one will come and tell you, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not this, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is this. As I will be doing this evening, follow me. Go to Google, open IPOB code of conduct. As I am going through them, join me also to confirm if it is indeed what is written there that I'm reading to you. That is how you know. Stop being dormant. Stop being dumb. Stop being stupid. Be a human being. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be in jail, in detention, suffering, and you are there. You know, you cannot make use of your senses. Are you an animal? If you're not an animal, behave like a human being for once in your life. Now, there's something I want to read before I go through the IPOB Code of Conduct. I want to read one thing for you. So you understand. I to put I go see. I'm not seeing it here. Okay. They can't. Don't worry, I'm coming. Let me get it. Because I imagine, okay, you know, we must bring it to where it's supposed to be. Now, sorry. Now let's go. Now, let us go. This post is coming from a clown, one of the clown put together by the cabals and by the defunct doers. They are foot soldiers. These are the men who do all the dirty jobs for them. The likes of Chinas and Woru, the likes of Chikedozium, Tony Zumike, and the rest of them. These are the morons put together by them to undermine the authority and the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. His name is Annie Best or Annie King. He is now the current media war for the defunct DOS. He kept writing and writing trash, kept undermining the authority of our leader. That is what he is doing. And I will be proving it to you through what he wrote himself. Annie Best wrote on the 24th of July 2025 at approximately 1345. Annie Best titled his jargons, his rubbish, Onyendu, let me hit the nails on its head. Written by Annie Best. Now, before I continue, you remember one Elochukwu Ohaji. Before now, I kept mentioning Elochukwu Ohaji because he was doing the dirty job for them. He was one of those recruited by the defunct DOS to push media propaganda against Mazi Simon Ekpa. Elochukwu Ohaji devoted his time defending rubbish he called DOS. And because of the little money they were given to him, he was pushing narrative. The narrative of Simon Ekpa, the agent of Nigeria, was pushed by Elochukwu Ohaji. And they were all enjoying him. But you know one thing, if you go and buy a python, a baby python, and you kept him at home, and you'll be feeding him with rats, small time, it will outgrow rats. You start feeding him with chicken. From chicken, you start to feed him with goat. From there, you start to feed him with a cow. there come a point where he will he will be his next meal. The monster you created, you fed, you nurtured, will turn around to consume you. Elechukwu Haji was contracted because he has never been an IPOB. But several times he has questioned the membership of Maasa Monepa as IPOB. He was the forefront asking that question, but he himself he's never IPOB member. Today, I don't know. Maybe I've never saw any of his article of late, but I found out from what I'm seeing that they have turned against him because he has smelled the coffee and he's not understanding anymore. He found out that they are raising army that will fight Onyendu. He revolted. Today, Elechukwu Haji is in their lips. They will come out to tell you, oh, Elechukwu Haji is not IPOB. He's not this, he's not that. He doesn't have right to say this, you know. But according to what I'm seeing, it looks as if Elechukwu Haji has come to his senses. And it looks like he's telling the truth again. He started writing the truth. And they are not comfortable with it. Because light and darkness cannot coexist. One must give way for the other. So Elechukwu Haji has, jumped ship. And today, they have turned their sword against him. So let us read what Annie Best, the new moron recruited by the defunct DOS, Chinas and Woru, Chike Doziem, Tony Zurumike. Now let us go. He said, and I read, disregard the falsehood being peddled from the palace circle and spread by Ohaji, the content creator, and the Osoji, the palace boy. You know who is Osoji? Darlington. I see the heart. All these men, we are standing gidigba by these men who have sold the struggle. They defended them against the movement. They protected them in the name of protecting the structure. They were busy destroying the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the name of defending the structure. Diko ofekamara ebe kere nku kwa ni DOS na-akpa ha nkụ n'isi. Today, they have made a U-turn. Today, Hunter has become haunted. So Osoji is Darlington as the heart. So I will continue. He said that Ohaji, the content creator, and Osoji, the palace boy, that there is a plot to unseat Onyendu when he is released. It's no more in the secret. It is open. You even pointed it out here. So, but with it, he says disregard also the threats from some circle that Onyendu will sack all the DOS members or some of their listed persons when he is free. Onyendu remained the supreme leader of IPOB. No one dares to contend with Onyendu. Them never born the person. No dispute on Onyendu's status. Not now, not tomorrow. Onyendu is not going to sack anyone when he is out. The DOS is the highest decision-making body in IPOB. In the absence of Onyendu and in the presence of Onyendu, Ibayin, my fellow comrade, is this information right? Is this true state of things? Does DOS actually the highest decision-making body? Are they the ones making decisions in the press even when Onyendu is present? This question will be answered by the IPOB Code of Conduct. But I'm going somewhere, and I will continue reading. The power to sack and appoint is best owned on DOS. Please underline this, because we'll be looking into the IPOB Code of Conduct. I'm not saying that he's, at this point, I'm not saying he's wrong. I just want you to underline that the power to sack and appoint is best owned on DOS. He said, DOS sacked the then deputy leader, Uche Mefo, and abolished his office. Heaven did not fall. Onyendu did not utter a word, and the struggle moved on. When it is a matter of concerns in making a decision, the Directorate of State remains the highest decision maker, and Onyendu is a member of the Directorates of State. Therefore, decisions are made and taken unanimously. Underline, please. This status quo remains undisputable and cannot be altered. Therefore, also urge the content creator and the palace board cannot change the narrative. They can list hundreds of names to be sacked when Onyendu comes out. They are simply working for their belly because country hard. Everyone knows it. But the reason they are running berserk is that DOS has shut the door of making IPOB struggle a family business, which Onyendu Mazi agreed to this fact and made sure no member of his family hold any position in IPOB. The struggle for Biafra has never been a family business and will never be, and he maintained his word by not allowing any of his family members, including of his siblings of iniquities that are crying foul, to be in any position in IPOB. But there was a leakage somewhere. And we have spotted the leakage. And it has been taken care of. The finance department, led by Madam Nandayanya, allowed herself to be used to hijack IPOB fund and systematically turned IPOB fund to be oil well for the palace and friends as their inheritance. And this is the change that the DOS has made, and these changes shall remain even when Onyendu is free. The door of Nenayanya in IPOB is shut forever and ever, and heaven will not fall, because DOS is the final say in IPOB. Please always underline. Those thinking that Onyendu will be free tomorrow and suddenly change the status quo when he is out and reinstall Nenayanya as IPOB finance is on their daylight dreams, because the power to sack and appoint is based on DOS, not entity. This Annie Best is, when did his DOS sacked Madam Nenaya, the finance head? Where? And if he says that the power to sack and appoint is based on DOS, who then based on it on them? Because he said that the power to sack and to appoint is based on DOS, not on Onyendu. May we ask this non-entity, who then based on this authority on this his DOS? Who? You know, English is simple, but it's very, very tough. You have to be skillfully minded person in English language to understand details comprehensively. Or if not, you will keep making, misquoting, you keep misinterpreting words. This man said that Onyendu is the supreme leader. And what is, when you say someone is a supreme leader, what does that mean? What does that entail? What is the significance of a supreme leader? Which other office is above the office of a supreme leader? This is the question that these non-entities that calls himself Annie Best or Annie King, as the case may be, fail to ask his dumb mind, dumb heart, dumb mind, or whatever. He has proven that he is a dumb best person alive. He didn't speak, but he wrote. Through what he wrote, you could be able to interpret, to place him, to measure him, to weigh him. Indeed, this Annie King is a waste. He's useless. He's foolish. He is empty. If you listen to him, I pity you. I can't see anybody that will go lower than this man. But let's continue reading the trash he wrote. I will continue. He said, but people are asking what is the offense of this woman, Nenayanya, and the younger brother of Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu, that cannot be forgiven. Follow me. Let me shock you. Permit me to start with the offense of Kanu that cannot be forgiven. Look at the fool. Talking about who to forgive and who not to forgive. When you are lied into, when you are lied to by someone you trust, you always end up believing shit, trash. This man looked at himself and said that someone cannot be forgiven. Now ask him, who are you? And why do you make such statement? Under whose authority do you speak? But I will continue. He said There is a young man that goes by name Mazi Okenna Okechukwu, and also known as a Biafran child, who resides in Germany. He is one of certified IPOB media personnel under BTV. This is the trash. You know who is a Biafran child? These are the kind of people that they have, and they make bold with them. Look at it. He called him a certified IPOB media personnel. Look at him. Empty brain. As far as I'm concerned, Mazi Okechukwu Okenna, aka the Biafran child, an adult that refused to grow old. That man is empty in the head, in the brain. He has nothing to say, only to talk jargons. Tripping words. Messianic. Oh, Martin Namdekan. But I will continue. This young man, just because of his broadcast against the acclaimed younger brother of Martin Namdekan in his platform, one Mr. Kingsley Kanu, aka Kanun Takanu, went and filed a suit against him in a high court in Germany. The leadership heard this. The leadership heard this and got worried and tried to reach out to the young man to withdraw the case, as every matter should be resolved in-house to no avail. The leadership made a further move by sending message to Onyendu through third party to order this young man to withdraw the case. The message of Onyendu remained unanswered to this day. As I'm writing this, no comment from Onyendu as alleged. But take note, we understand the manipulation ongoing. No one should take such against Onyendu. All thanks to IPOB leadership that did not abandon the Biafran child after sending some delegates, lawyer, to stand for Biafran child in case sued against him by Kingsley Kanu Takanu. And after the legal battle, the frivolous charges was thrown out, and we say shame to the devil and his agent. Of course, we all know that IPOB has unforgiving spirit. We are not going to forgive Kanunta for this action to forge ahead, not now, not tomorrow. What about Nnenayane? Let me shock you. You have been shocking yourself. I have not shocked anyone here. Only yourself have been shocking because you are talking shit. Madam Nnenayane did not just hijack IPOB fund under her custody. She hijacked IPOB fund and went ahead to close the national account of IPOB in Germany and accused the leadership of being those behind the account closure. She did this to blackmail the leadership and trick IPOB members to accept her multiple new accounts. She opened multiple new accounts she opened to enable her and siblings of iniquities to continue full access of IPOB fund. But unfortunately to her, the global family of IPOB couldn't but to her blackmail of the leadership. Then she did not stop there. She and her crony, the same Kanun Takanu, went further to file another suit. suitcase against IPOB and IPOB National Coordinator Mazi Collins Chinedu, accusing him of embezzlement or hijack of IPOB fund or something related to that whatsoever may be the charges. The man who served the suit later handed it to the wrong person, to the wrong hand, and IPOB Germany were unaware of such suit case until after the first sitting, the hearing, and the judge ruled against IPOB on matter of non-appearance in the case. And there was a jubilation in the camp, and that is when IPOB Germany knew there was an ongoing case against them in the court. IPOB immediately took action to file an appeal on the case. After the first hearing, the table turned. Then there was that was when we found out that the so-called former office of IPOB in Lilienfeld, Germany, being controlled by Madam Nayanya, was rented under individual name, not on IPOB name. And all the letters being addressed to IPOB was going to this individual, and the man was just sitting on it without informing the appropriate persons for action all these years. Now the appeal was filed, and there was a green light that the table of judgment is about to turn. Then the jubilation, because then those jubilating because they have won court case against IPOB is now crying foul, sending messages to Onyendu that Onyendu has ordered for IPOB leadership to withdraw their appeal against their brother. Imagine such message, Biafrans. I'm going to stop it here. Let me not continue. But if you remember, he said something about when they heard about the court case against the national coordinator, that the leadership jump in. Remember that the same people arrested IPOB men that went to protest here in South Africa, in Pretoria. They were arrested and put in jail for weeks. We did not hear from the so-called leadership. So that is the irony of this evil man. That is the wickedness in the hearts of these evil men. They think that they're going to take over the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but it's not going to be possible. That is why we are here. The only reason we are here is to make it very, very, very clear to these individuals that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's position, as we read, is incontestable. I'm not against anybody who wants to lead. But if you want to lead, you don't build on what that is already built. You go out, build your own, and become the leader. Simple as that. You don't have to come here and challenge Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and or you want to tell us how you are right, you are the leader and in the right position of a leader. Now, I am here with IPOB Code of Conduct. And I want to, coming from what that guy wrote, I want to now I want to read IPOB Code of Conduct, subsection A, appointments and dismissal. Then paragraph 1, and the only paragraph in this, it says that the power to appoint, suspend, and or dismiss erring principal officers vests exclusively on the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, except and to the extent he clearly and expressly delegates that power to any other principal officer. Did you see that? According to the IPOB Code of Conduct, the power to appoint, the power to sack was not bestowed to the DOS as alleged by Annie Best. It is the prerogative, the duty of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the supreme leader of this movement to do. No wonder when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu asked that everybody sacked by these non-entities should be recalled, should be called back, they refused. Because to them, it is their power, it is their duty to sack and to appoint. That is why they appointed their own person here in IPOB Western Cape. That is why they replaced so many people, undermining the authority of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Look at it here. The power to appoint, suspend, and or dismiss erring principal officers vests exclusively. When something is exclusively, it means every other person is excluded. Only that person that is there is exclusively on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he goes on to say, except. So because of that mugu that said that, oh, Uchemefo, that it was DOS that sacked Uchemefo, it was expressly delegated to them to do it by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave them go ahead and do it. They didn't do it on their own. Now, something here. In subsection B, principal officers bracket servant. In paragraph 6, all positions with the exception, look at it here. There it used exclusively. Here it changes to exception. All positions with the exception of the office of the leader of IPOB are held on probational basis. The only permanent office in this movement is the office of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Others are on probational basis, meaning that it's not a permanent appointment. Those individuals Annie Best is referring to as his leadership that has the power to do anything. They are not there on permanent basis. They are there on probational basis, according to IPOB Code of Conduct. They are there on probational basis. The only permanent position, the only person that is held, that is holding a permanent position in IPOB today is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow we may have a new Directorate of State. We may have a new Deputy Directorate of State. Only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is that have a permanent office in IPOB. Tomorrow, Mazi Ebuchi can be promoted to Continental Rep, and Continental Rep could be removed completely. That is the position we are in IPOB. Your so-called GOS are on probational appointment, just like myself as a unit coordinator, or based on probational appointment. I could be relieved tomorrow of that position as a coordinator. So is everybody. Just like in the context of God and human beings, God is permanent. Human beings are not. That is what it is. As a human being, you have expiring dates. The day you expired, you shall die. God is permanent. Is permanent from generation to generation. A human being cannot come to question Chukwuka Abiyama or to say that he is in control of life. That is not Chukwuka Abiyama, it is control of creation. That now he is in control of creation. No human being can say it. Because if you say it, one day when you die, it is over for you. Please, let us be wise as a people. Now, in the same subsection B, principal officers, servants, in paragraph 7, Yeah. No, in paragraph 6, IPOB Code of Conduct says all appointments by the leader, not by the DOS. People should be wise, have sense. To him, brain is given, sense is required. All appointments by the leader of IPOB for any position are for an initial period of 6 months, automatically renewable for a further 6 months, taking the performance of the principal servants holding a particular position at any given time into consideration. What will make Chinas Nworu, Chike Doziem, and the rest of them to remain in their position when Mazen Khan comes out is if they did the right thing. If they did the right thing, if they brought progress, if they united this because that is their job after all. If they followed the dictates of the IPOB Code of Conduct, that is the only time they will retain their position. But in absence of that, it is not going to be possible. They will lose. And nobody can change that. Now, let me read something again from the Code of Conduct of IPOB. Now, let me read something. In subsection C, IPOB hierarchical structure, paragraph 1. Now listen. That every principal servant of the indigenous people of Biafra, from unit coordinator to the highest level of coordination. What does that mean? Highest level of coordination stops with DOS. The job of DOS in IPOB is not to make laws, is to enforce the IPOB Code of Conduct. Already law, lay down law in IPOB. That is the job of DOS. To make sure that everything written in this piece of paper called IPOB Code of Conduct is followed to the letter. There is no room to add to it. There is no room to change, to try to manipulate things. It is stated clearly in this paragraph that I'm reading to you now. It said that every principal servant of the indigenous people of Biafra, from unit coordinator to the highest level of coordination, must adhere very strictly to this code of conduct. What did Mazen Kanu say? You must listen. You must listen. You must be engrossed strictly to this IPOB Code of Conduct. You must. It's not a matter of choice now. It's a command that you must. He used must in a capital letter. If you go to IPOB Code of Conduct, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used capital letter to write must. For you to understand that it is very, very imperative, very important that you adhere very strictly to this IPOB Code of Conduct by ensuring that they report in all cases at all times to their immediate superior. IPOB practice chain of command. Everything must flow concurrently. Everything must flow. You got it now? So, under whose authority did, what is his name? Annie Best wrote that trash. And why is he trying to plant confusion in the hearts of the people? Why is he trying to make it look as if his DOS are the highest authority? Why are they even having such discussion if they don't have anything planning going on? But one thing they must understand is, like he rightly said in that his nonsense, that you cannot fight Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and win. You failed out. Chikedoziem and his cronies failed, and they must fail out completely. They don't need a native doctor or a soothsayer to tell them that it is over for them in this struggle. You cannot fight Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and win. It's not possible. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's word is authority. It carries power. As the supreme leader of this movement, his words are final. No other words but his words. It doesn't matter whether you find yourself in DOS or in anything that is above DOS. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wields unchallengeable authority and power. The sooner you understand this, the better for you. But if you don't want to listen to us, people like us who always tell you nothing but the truth, without fear, without favor, we tell you the truth. How you feel is worthless to us. We must tell you the truth. You cannot say, as IPOB, as a bona fide member of this movement, you cannot say that DOS has the power to sack nor to appoint. You cannot say that. That is insubordination. a DOS member could be removed today. But the supreme leader, the leader of this movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, can never be removed as far as IPOB is concerned, according to the IPOB Code of Conduct. It is verifiable. Go, Google, get it, read it, and be knowledgeable. Knowledge is power. In the absence of it, it's a failure, pain, disgrace. Work to get wisdom and be knowledgeable is very, very important. Stop Zuzu. The Zuzu are everywhere. Help yourself and save yourself shame and disgrace. Don't follow the likes of Annie Best. You will be misled. Now, before I bring this program to the end, I want to send something to you. I want to bring something to your attention. Now, listen to what I have in the screen. This was Chinasa Nworu. That was Chinasa Nworu. He wrote this when? Okay, about few months back, he said, "Onye ọbụla zọbọ isi onwe ya." He put Dear Sawarrior and his Oriental brothers. And I brought this thing to our attention then, and I told our people, who do you think this man, Chinasa Nworu, was making reference to? And he used he made this choice of word and said that Onye ọbụla zoba isi onwe ya. What does that mean? This was few months ago. And I told you, he was referring to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He was talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's time for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to save himself. I said it here. Today, it's making sense because they are trying to push a narrative. And let me bring something. This one is Chibuikem Biafra child. Chibuikem Biafra child. Let me remove this so maybe we can see. Yeah. Chibuikem Biafra child. He wrote, he said, and said, we are all here to restore at Biafra, not to fight for MNK. He gathered us, yes, but the main target is Biafra. Get that. Now, and when you are here, did you understand something? A few months ago, Chinasa Nworu made a tweet and said, Onye ọbụla zoba isi onwe ya. And today, they are writing, we are not here to restore, we are all here to restore at #Biafra, not to fight for MNK. Or again, he gathered us, yes, but the main target is Biafra. Get that. Now, what is he saying? He's trying to tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should save himself. that it is not their duty to fight for his freedom. It is not their duty to fight for their freedom as a leader who went in fighting for them. Now he's telling you that we are here to fight for Biafra. So onye ọbụla egburu si ma egene eburu egbe ya. Mazi Kanu has failed. Let him sort himself out. That is why they don't care about how Mazi Kanu live, how he's faring, and they don't care how he is doing, how he eats, how his medical bills is paid. They don't know how his legal team are paid. They don't know all this. They don't even care. Because to them, they are here to restore Biafra and not to fight for their leader to be released. I just wanted you to see this thing, so you will understand and agree with me that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is standing alone. That this man intentionally pushed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu away. It has always been their plan. It has always been their plan for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to fall so that they will rise. But I promise them one thing. As the gatekeepers that we are in this struggle, we will not allow them, we will never allow them to succeed. We will continue to campaign, we continue to do everything within our power and strength to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu regains his freedom. And whatever we can do for him to get his freedom back, we will do it. Reason being that he was not there because he committed any crime. His crime was speaking for you. His crime was speaking for I. It could be you tomorrow. It could be I tomorrow. Onyaga na nwanne ya. That is what we know. Here, the spirit of Onyaga na nwanne ya was assassinated. They don't care. They have become heartless. They have lost touch. They have allowed their greed to take better part of them. But one thing for sure, whatever you sow, you shall reap. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be freed. Not only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, everybody who, because of this agitation for Biafra to be restored, got into trouble. All of them will be restored. None of them will die in jail. None of them will die in jail. They will come out. And we all shall continue in this battle. And at the end of it all, Biafra will surely come. We shall live to see Biafra. We shall live in Biafra. I am telling you, you will see me in Biafra. And we all shall celebrate and thank Chukwu Okike for being true to his word, for coming true to his word. We will never abandon Onyendu. We will never abandon him. As a shepherd, we will never leave any of our sheep because it fell inside a ditch. I thank you for your time with us in this program this evening. I encourage you to continue to share the program. I encourage you to continue to do whatever it takes that this platform, the message we add or we have dished out tonight, will go to the appropriate places where it's supposed to go. Share the program, like the program, talk about this platform, invite people, and let us make things happen. Bless you and support you. And may you never see anything bad throughout this week. And may the new month coming bring you nothing but peace, unity, love, success, breakthrough, and may good health be your portion. From me, from here, it is good night.